Hello and welcome to the Alpine Valley School podcast. I'm your host, Mark Gallivan. This is episode 31 of the Alpine Valley School podcast. You can find show notes for this episode at alpinevalleySchool.com/podcast/EP31 for episode 31. Oprah Winfrey once said, "Passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from doing what excites you." At our school, students get to focus on what excites them all day, every day. On this show, you've heard from a lot of AVS alumni who discovered what they were passionate about while they were at school. But what about the people who come to us already fired up? Today you'll hear an interview I recorded with one such person, AVS graduate Kelsey Kiernan. As Kelsey herself puts it, she was dancing before she could walk. And it was through the support and freedom she experienced at our school that she was able to turn this passion into a fulfilling entrepreneurial career. I'll let her tell you the rest herself. Here's Kelsey.
I was, doing pretty well in school. I was in fourth grade, and I loved the work, but unfortunately I was getting passive-aggressively bullied a lot. My mom was searching for answers, and actually not for me. What happened is she decided that she would go back to this school that she found a while back. So I started at AVS in 2000, and in the little interview thing that we did, the one thing that was catching my eye is that they kept saying that it was like a family and that everybody got to kind of do what they wanted. And I guess I was feeling like I needed an escape. And so in the interview, I asked them, "Can I please come, Mom, please, can I please come?" I begged, and I went. So going there was an interesting thing because I really fit in immediately, and I made friends right away. In fact, I'm still friends with all of the first 3 girls I met. And so the rest is history. I was there until I graduated in 2009. Literally the very first day I walked into the theater, and the girls, Hannah and Gina and Kayla, were playing Backstreet Boys, and they were coming up with some dance moves. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in my element because I'm a dancer. That's what I do. And then what happened is I kind of really wanted to learn about history. And actually that was Gina's fault. She's one of the first people that got on the podcast and one of the first AVS members. She was like, I want to learn about Greek history. And she's like, basically, we would sit at the main room table. One of our friends, one of the staff members, Bruce, was telling us these crazy stories about Greek mythology. And so we ended up having this class that was every week. And it was in the morning before we ate lunch, and it was story time. And we learned all about this history that actually developed our interest into knowing about American history. And so we got to learn about the presidents then. So everything was sort of moved into each other. Oh, I'm interested in this. Okay, well, that's opened up my mind to learn about this. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's opened my mind to learn about this. AVS provides the environment to take opportunities in which direction that you choose and kind of discover what you want to know more about. I was actually really excited about being able to sort of navigate my own way in my education. And my thing that really I needed though was friendship. I think that's a thing that I was really starving for, a real friendship. And with everything going on in my family, creating that relationship with those girls where it's unbreakable and undeniable is really what made me strong. We decided we wanted to do a talent show, which came about through having this acting teacher that we asked for. Because in the school, basically how it works is if you really want classes, you just ask for which ones you want. And we got a permission from Exeter Seniors to basically take auditions, which we decided everybody would get in, but we wanted to do auditions. And then we would create a whole program and decide on a day and have a talent show. And so that like made me a lot braver and more courageous also to continue being relentless about finding a studio, because honestly, I've been dancing before I could walk. It's always been in my blood. And so what I found is that I had this ability to just like hang out in the room in our building called the theater, and I would just dance. The joke around the school for like 2 years was that, oh, where's Kelsey? Duh, she's in the theater. There's a dance studio right down the street from us who happened to be running like 3 to 8 o'clock dance classes. I was able to go to classes right after school, which I would not have been able to do if I was in a regular school. That really helped me to pursue freely one thing that brought me fulfillment. I would just practice dancing all day. And I really do think that that's why within 2 years, I went from being like a very beginner, like hardly able to do anything, to being like what they called like the most advanced dancer in the studio. Kids do have a natural desire. I mean, they have a natural instinct to learn. So everything around them is like open to them at AVS to just like take hold of and dig into more and more. It really like hones your awareness for self. And it also gives, I feel like I was really developed a lot of confidence in who I am. School seriously saved my life. Like, I do not say that lightly. I say it with all sincerity. I went to that studio, and in my senior year at AVS, a lot of stuff happened, actually. You know, I knew that I wanted to dance, and I honestly feel like I didn't have a single clue what that meant yet when I was 18. Basically, what was going on in my head is that I knew 3 things. I knew that I wanted to travel. I knew that I wanted to really impact people. And I knew that I wanted to perform and dance in every way that I could. I found this program called Up With People, and it allowed me to really pursue travel, impact, and perform, because it's actually their slogan. So I had to fundraise $15,000. And within 9 months, basically, I fundraised that money. I ended up traveling to 6 different countries for 6 months. And I stayed in 24 host families' homes. And I performed in front of more than 50,000 people. Yeah, from there, the explosion of incredible life, like, has really just flourished. I definitely attribute that to AVS. I mean, the experience of knowing that the way to learn is to ask has really helped me. I always have been very entrepreneurial, and the school has been so supportive of that. I've been able to dive into this teacher, and I'm a part of a school that is for learning English through dance and the arts, and we are building it in Nicaragua. So that's just one whole facet of my life, but I'm also in a whole nother dance company that I helped to co-found, and I'm also a dance teacher in 3 elementary schools, and I have a business that I've been developing that brings awareness to artists, and I actually have my own podcast. It's called Amplify, an Artist Movement. And so it's kind of insane, but all this craziness is finally coming into one basket. And I'm also going to start attending school for my Bachelor of Fine Arts in Dance, because this degree is about like creating change through dance. And so everything I'm already doing aligns with it. And I was quite honestly approached by the program creator and director. She brought me to coffee and asked me if I will be a student there. I'm doing really well. I know that my resilience and my strength and my courage and my bravery and my ambition and my relentlessness comes from what I was able to gain from AVS, and I'm just like light years beyond grateful.
Thanks to Kelsey for sharing her inspiring story. If you want to find out more about the work she's doing, check out the show notes for this episode at alpinevalley.school.com/podcast/EP31 for episode 31. Kelsey's brother, Keith, has also been interviewed on the podcast, so be sure to check out episode 30 if you want to hear what he has to say as well. As always, thanks for listening. I'm Mark Gallivan. This is the Alpine Valley School podcast, and we'll be back again soon with more stories of real learning for real life.